China built enough empty apartments to house every single person in Germany. Twice. No war. No disaster. Just cities built for people who never showed up. This is the strangest housing crisis on Earth. Across China, there are enough unsold and empty homes to house tens of millions of people. Some estimates say far more. Entire residential complexes fully built with roads, streetlights, and towers sit almost completely unoccupied at night. Other developments were never even finished, left as empty concrete shells after construction simply stopped midway. Some of these new districts were planned with schools, malls, and hospitals, built for a population that never arrived. From above, entire neighborhoods of identical towers stretch for kilometers, many with lights that never turn on. In smaller cities, apartment prices have fallen for years straight, with some homes now selling far below their original price. Parking lots built for thousands of residents often sit almost completely empty, a quiet sign of how few people actually moved in. Small shops built to serve new residents have shut down one by one, unable to survive without enough people around to buy anything. And it gets stranger. Some of these ghost cities aren't small. They were built to hold 1 million people each. For decades, building new housing was one of the fastest ways for local governments to grow their economy and create jobs. Entire new districts were planned around the idea that people would follow the housing, that building it would create demand. For many Chinese families, buying an apartment was also seen as one of the safest ways to store and grow savings. Because of this, many apartments were bought purely as an investment, never meant to be lived in at all. But population growth in China has slowed sharply, and many smaller cities simply never attracted the residents these homes were built for. Younger generations increasingly move to a handful of major cities for work, leaving many of these new developments behind. The result: homes were built based on projected demand that, in many places, never actually showed up. Here's the part most people get wrong. This wasn't a mistake. It was the plan. For families who bought apartments as an investment, falling prices in many cities have wiped out a large part of their savings. Many older residents relied on their apartments' rising value to fund retirement, a plan that's no longer working out as expected. Meanwhile, in major cities like Beijing and Shanghai, prices remain high enough that many young buyers still can't afford to enter the market. Some newly built schools and ghost developments have almost no students, built for a community that simply isn't there yet. Residents in some of these developments describe living in half-empty buildings, with entire floors completely unoccupied around them. In cities where developers ran out of money mid-project, some families who paid in advance are still waiting for homes that were never finished. This has led to rare public frustration, with some affected buyers demanding refunds or completion of homes they already paid for. The situation has become significant enough that housing stability is now treated as a genuine national concern. But there's one twist nobody saw coming. Some of these ghost cities are now filling up again. Authorities have introduced measures to slow down new construction in cities that already have far too many empty homes. Some local governments have stepped in to help finish stalled housing projects, ensuring buyers who paid in advance eventually receive a home. Other programs aim to convert unsold apartments into affordable rental housing, giving empty units an actual purpose. In a few extreme cases, some unfinished or unwanted developments have simply been demolished rather than completed. Officials are also being encouraged to plan new housing based on realistic population needs, rather than projected growth alone. Programs encouraging migration into underused cities aim to fill some of this housing with new residents over time. Solution 1. Convert more empty apartments into affordable rental housing, giving unused homes to people who actually need them. Solution 2. Base future housing construction on realistic population data, rather than optimistic long-term projections. So what do you actually do with a city nobody wants to live in? China tried something surprising. Solution 3. Introduce taxes or fees on long-term vacant apartments, discouraging homes from being bought and left completely empty. Solution 4. Invest in jobs and infrastructure in underused cities, giving people an actual reason to move into existing housing. Solution 5. Slow down new construction specifically in oversupplied regions until existing empty homes are absorbed. Solution 6. Renovate and repurpose older or unfinished buildings instead of continuing to build new developments elsewhere. Solution 7. Expand public housing programs using existing empty stock rather than developing entirely new land. Solution 8. Support younger residents relocating to smaller cities with incentives like reduced housing costs or moving assistance. Solution 9. Hold developers accountable for finishing pre-sold projects, protecting families who already paid for unfinished homes. Solution 10. Build genuine community infrastructure alongside housing, so new developments can actually attract long-term residents. Beijing stands at center. River gamble unfolds. World attention fixed. Yangtze glows in maps. Commerce flows endlessly. China's stage expands. Australia's crisis looks nothing like China's either. There, family wealth, not empty housing, decides who gets to own a home. Every country's housing crisis looks different, but they all share one thing: a mismatch between where homes exist and where people actually need them. China didn't fail by building too little. It built too much in the wrong places for people who were never going to move there. The lesson isn't that building homes is bad. It's that building without matching real demand creates a very different kind of crisis. If you want to see how other countries are tackling their own housing crisis, check out our full housing crisis series on this channel. If you found this useful, subscribe so you never miss the next country we break down in this series.